Hello, welcome. My name is Jordy. This reading is for Pisces. We're going to start by pulling some cards from a few different oracle decks. Then we'll move into a full 10-card tarot spread. So thank you so much for being here today, for liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting below. And if you want to view the extended version of this reading, if you find this reading really resonates with you, at the end, you can click the link in the description box of this video, become a member for only $4.99 a month, and have access to all the extended readings on my channel, as well as some other perks. Okay, what's going on for Pisces? We're just going to pull one. We've got hope. Authentic reclamation. It's time to call back all of the lost parts of yourself. Wow. It's almost as if that's pulling, like those messages are pulling on that story of Pandora's box, where all of the different fragments of humanity got let loose, all the darker parts, the shadowy parts, when the box was opened, but then the hope was left in the box for humanity to hold on to. So that's interesting. It's almost talking, well, it's talking about soul retrieval, and almost like this idea, I've never thought of it until now, but that each of those parts of the soul become like a lesson for us to reclaim, or they pose as a negative aspect in our life until we choose to empower ourselves and turn it into something positive. Hope being at the center of it all. You know, our soul gets fragmented from traumas and experiences of even neglect, or even the more quiet traps that we get stuck in that kind of erode at our soul. So with this card, it's saying it's time to call back all lost parts of yourself. It's that part of the healing journey where you're reclaiming different activities, different points of confidence and perspectives, different relationships that, or types of relationships that you want to have in your life again, that you had before, or perhaps never experienced because that part of you never got to be expressed. It's about improving your life, really. So we're going to grab a card from a newer deck that I have today called the Animal Elders Oracle. So we have the Elder Lynx. We have the Seek the Unseen here. Seek the unseen. That's very interesting because we're talking about these unseen parts of ourselves. You may not even realize that there's part of yourself that was lost. And it may surprise you when you maybe do a little bit of a healing ritual or intention setting to reclaim some lost parts of your soul, that a new expression is going to happen. We're going to grab a rune. So we have this opening rune. I forget the name of it, but we'll look in my sheet here. Kanaz. It's all about openness, wisdom, insight, revelations, knowledge, and transition. So this rune dispels ignorance and fears. It gives vision, and it's about regeneration. Ooh, I think that's the key word today, is regeneration. Being open to restoring, regenerating. That's gorgeous. So we'll see what the angel prayers advice are today. We have focus your mind. Thank you, angels, for helping me to focus on my priorities. Perhaps the angels are saying make this a priority for yourself right now, because the way you're manifesting your future might be limited since you don't have all those pieces of your soul kind of working together. There could be some parts that want to open up for you, new parts of your life. We have transformation. Archangel Zadkiel. Thank you, Zadkiel, for supporting me to transform from my past challenges. And we have signs from heaven. Thank you, heaven, for sending me reminders of your presence. So you will receive signs and synchronicities that you are on track with something that is in the realm of reclaiming parts of yourself. There is a transformation process that happens here, and you will be guided. Okay, let's see what the tarot cards have to say today. So we have the Ace of Cups, Knight of Wands. In the theme, we have the Two of Wands. We have the Nine of Pentacles in the past with the Four of Pentacles. The Nine of Swords in the future. The Two of Swords. These two came out next to each other in the previous reading, actually. We have the Page of Swords, the Five of Cups, and the Knight of Swords. So each of these cards has a specific position in the spread that represents something like the past, the present, the future, and all that. But I also read the cards like in a fluid motion, almost as if playing an instrument. So we're not necessarily going in a line here or one card at a time. We're kind of going back and forth a little bit. Alright, so hope. Time to call back all the lost parts of yourself. Well, here are the lost parts here with the Five of Cups and the Fears and Desires position. A lot of you have kind of moved forward without any regrets, because it's painful to regret, you know? It's almost as if you've been kind of holding yourself together since having gone through some difficult experiences and trying to stay whole, trying to remain grounded, trying to remain steady. But it's almost as if you're trying to keep a ship afloat with all these different holes in the ship. Water's coming in at different places, and you're trying to patch it up all the time. When really, if you reclaimed some lost parts to yourself, the ship would be, you wouldn't have all these holes in the ship, you know? Entry points where negativity or fatigue or insecurity can get into your armor, get into your vessel. These places that are inactive in your life, that want to be active with that Knight of Wands reversed, are until they're activated, they are like vacancies, and these vacancies are holes where the negativity, the illness, the lethargy, the insecurities can come in through. Because you are the vessel. And your soul, it's not just your body, it's not just the vessel. The soul holds the intelligence, your awareness, who you are. And the body's just an expression of the soul. I feel like there could be even a physical healing that happens for you by doing some soul retrieval work. And what does that look like? Well, maybe watch some YouTube videos on it, Pisces. And I'm not an expert on it. I do know it's a shamanic practice. You could set some intentions and prayers just to reclaim some parts of your soul and ask the spirit guides, angels, and ancestors to help you integrate those pieces back into your life. Maybe even do a tarot reading for yourself to identify what part of your soul or what theme there is to that part of your soul, the reason why it was lost or what's not being expressed. For example, I did a soul retrieval years ago with a shamanic Reiki practitioner, and she said that my dad had a piece of it, even though he had passed on, and that he wanted to give it back. And that it was significant that this piece of my soul was with my dad, because then it opened up this whole idea that, there's healing that has to be associated with my relationship to my dad. And, that soul piece was given back to me, integrated back in during that ceremony, during that Reiki healing. But it took years for me to feel like that piece of my soul actually fit back into my life. There's like a process where you kind of reject the healing, even though the healing has been done, even though the stitches have tied back together the soul. It still needs to be accepted and integrated and then exercised, made so that it's a useful part of you again. Or a functioning part of you instead of just like dead weight. So this is an interesting reading because this talks about the dead weight. This talks about the inactive aspects of our soul here, with the Ace of Cups representing the soul and the body and the vessel. The Four of Pentacles representing that holding everything together, that protective energy, your armor. And we see all these knights reversed. The knights are movement, forward movement. And it's interesting. So some of you may have actually gone to a healer and received healing work from somebody recently, but have not been feeling the effects of it, or feel like it hasn't worked, or maybe it feels like it's even made you feel worse. And there's a little bit of questioning and investigating with this Page of Swords and getting to the bottom of something here. Basically, it would be easier for you to integrate your healing and actually see results if you understood what it was that you were reclaiming with that soul retrieval or with that healing process. What was the original root cause of that piece of soul leaving your body to begin with, or being obliterated off or knocked off of your soul, or however it happens, shattered, cut, stolen, whatever happened to it. Was it taken? Was it freely given from you? So this is interesting work. And there's hope here. It's saying seek the unseen. Seek what you don't see here, because you don't see something with the Two of Swords next to the Page of Swords here. If we focus, maybe with a little bit of direction from some signs and synchronicities, there will be transformation. It's almost as though there's like a do nothing in this type of reading, except for discover and gain awareness over what it is that your healing process is entailing. Like, what are you healing within you? It's one thing just to receive the healing, but then to know what you're healing allows an integration. And sometimes knowing what we need to heal creates pressure and stress and worry in itself, and I can see that in the Nine of Swords being here. But it's also an opportunity for bravery. Some of you may not want to know exactly what it is that you need to heal. But there's an energy here of all these knights, like of stepping into your power, making movements in that direction. You got a couple choices in this reading. You got two twos. So the Two of Swords is the choice to know, to have the information. Do I choose to find out what it is that I need to heal, or what's trying to be healed in me? Do I choose to know the root cause, or how it started, and how, and in that knowledge, knowing how it needs to be expressed again in my life? How can it be restored, reclaimed? And then the other decision is, do you move forward with that knowledge? Do you integrate it? Do you take action in that area? Do you go with it and think about it even more with the Nine of Swords here? This is all about the power of knowing. If you find this reading resonates with you and you really want to know what certain pieces of your soul need to be reclaimed, or parts of you that have been reclaimed but you haven't been integrating so much because it feels like a block or a pain, too painful to even look at, perhaps you need a personal reading from a reader to get to the bottom of some of those things. Or perhaps you can manifest learning about those through browsing specific readings on YouTube with the intention of looking for what needs to be healed. Now, a great reader that I've found recently on YouTube is it's featured on my channel homepage. It's one of my favorite readers right now, called Witch and Scythe. They seem to be really good at pointing out what needs to be healed in your manifestations. Their style of reading is good for that. Yeah. Susan Tarot is actually really good at that as well. Getting into those really detailed nuances. Both of those channels are linked below, so I do recommend, checking out those two readers. We're going to leave this message here, and we're going to continue clarifying these energies in the extended reading. So if you want to follow me into the extended, the link is in the description box of this video. And this is where I leave you. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you again soon.